Hey folks, welcome back to Astronomy and Coffee. I'm here outside of our planetarium at our Omni Globe, and this is something you can play with yourself whenever you come here. Before you see a show, you can go to different planets like Mars, you can go to different moons, you can see here's Mercury, for example. But what I want to talk about right now is this. This is a moon of Saturn called Mimas. And Mimas is quite popular because if you go to this crater over here, there you go, this little crater that you can see right there, this huge Herschel crater, you can see right there. That makes this moon of Saturn look a lot like the Death Star, but we're not here to talk about the Death Star or this huge crater. We're here to talk about this possible subsurface ocean on Mimas. It's been all the rage in the astronomy news. Does this moon of Saturn have a subsurface ocean? Let's go back into the office and take a look at this moon up close, and let's see what it has in store for us on the next Astronomy and Coffee. Okay, now we are here back in the office, and we're here to talk about Mimas. Let's go back over here to, all right, a little spacesuit there. Get into my Mimas cafe with a rotten plate of donuts, it looks like here, a little cup of coffee and a little dish of cream there. But anyways, let's go over here to look at Mimas. There we go. Well, unlike other icy moons, Mimas appears to be quite dead. Now, it's covered in craters, and unlike a moon like, say, Enceladus, which has these cryovolcanoes, these ice geysers, Mimas has this sort of pockmarked wasteland surface type area. Look at this. Looks a lot like our moon or even Mercury. Well, the Paris Observatory has unveiled evidence that Mimas could have a subsurface ocean that is relatively new. And whenever I say new, I'm talking about it appeared sometime in the last 2 to 25 million years. That means it hasn't really had a whole lot of time to have an impact on the surface of Mimas. Now, it comes down to this. Whenever our moon orbits Earth, the tides cause the moon to rock back and forth very slightly. This is called libration. Now, in the case of Saturn, Mimas revolves around every 22 hours, while Saturn rotates every 10.7 hours. So the gravity of Mimas tugs and deforms Saturn's gases on its surface, and this gas has to constantly reflow and reshape the planet as it spins. Now, this effect also echoes back to the moon, changing the positions and the orbits. Now, okay, so Saturn and our Earth, the tides and the gases on these planets cause the respective moons to sort of rock back and forth very slightly. It's called libration. Now, the scientists have looked at the libration of Mimas, and they discovered that it has a much larger libration than they originally thought it should have. Now, this could be caused by one of two things. Mimas could have a pancake-shaped core, or it could have a subsurface ocean surrounding a spherical core. Now, Mimas has this sort of oval-shaped or rosette trajectory as it orbits. Now, this orbital precession doesn't suggest a round core, but it does point to that subsurface ocean. Now, based on this orbital precession and this large libration, the team suggests that this subsurface ocean could reside between 10 to 20 miles beneath this sort of rigid, icy surface. Now, that being said, if Mimas has an ocean, they think that it won't last very long, that it will then refreeze and sort of go back to the way it was the millions of years before this ocean existed. Now, by the way, this Herschel crater that you see over here, that is actually the second largest crater on a moon that we know of, followed only by the moon of Tethys, which is also a moon of Saturn. It has a crater called Odysseus. Let's take a look at Odysseus, huh? Well, while we're here, let's go to Tethys here, the moon of Saturn. Close by, a little neighbor there. Let's see if we can find that crater. Let's see where it's at. It's always almost, there we go. There it is, Odysseus. Ah, look at that thing there. Okay, so So does Mimas have a subsurface ocean? Only time will tell. If it does, it will join a list of other icy moons out there that is said to have subsurface oceans as well. Well, back here on Earth, where I live, we have coffee. And we also have a new show. We have two new shows. We have 321 Liftoff, and we have Supermassive Black Holes Unveiling the Invisible. Let's take a look here at that trailer.
When we gaze at the stars on a calm summer night, we perceive a beautiful, peaceful, and ordered universe. We do not realize that it is alive, fierce, and sometimes extremely violent.
So please check the website for showtimes and details about this. It's fun for all ages. Also, fun for all ages will be 321 Liftoff, which is a very interesting, cool show. And that's going to about do it for me. And we will see you next week, possibly, for another astronomy and what? Coffee.